Alright, so in today's video I'm going to show you how to draw a room in two-point perspective. You're going to need your pencil. I recommend initially laying out the whole room in a light pencil because some of these lines you're going to be doing you're going to need to be erasing. So I would use a regular number 2 pencil, an HB, a B. I'm going to use a 6B solid graphite pencil, which is pretty dark but only so that you can really see my lines. You're going to need an eraser. You're going to need a ruler, preferably a long one that's at least as long, if not slightly longer, than the paper that you're using. And if you don't have a ruler, you're going to need to find something with a straight edge. You could roll up a piece of, or fold up a piece of paper, grab a book, use the spine of a book, anything with a straight edge. Because if you're not doing straight lines when you're doing this, your drawing's going to look lopsided. It's just going to look a little messy. And then you'll need your drawing paper. So what I've done is I've taken a 12 by 18 sheet of paper and I've cut it down to 12 by 14. So you're gonna go ahead and measure, cut off 4 inches from your paper, so it's a little more square, not exactly, but closer than a really long piece. If we used a really long piece, it's gonna stretch your room out a little too much. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is we're gonna draw the horizon line. So you need to find the center of your paper, top to bottom. Put this landscape, it's a little longer going this way, and then so to find the center, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the distance between the top and the bottom, and this is a 12-inch piece of paper, so we're going to mark it at 6. I want you to mark it 2 places at the halfway point and then draw your horizon line. By marking it twice and then connecting those dots, you're ensuring that your line's perfectly straight across your paper and not at an angle. If you only measure it once and then you're kind of guessing that you're making your line perfectly straight across. So I'm going to line up these 2 marks that I just made. I'm going to draw my line. Do this lightly. For the most part, you're going to be erasing this entire line. Okay, now we need our vanishing points. This is a 2-point perspective drawing, so you need 2 vanishing points. I'm going to do them right here on the edge, almost right to the edge of my paper. So 2 vanishing points, make those dark so you can see them. Now I'm going to draw the corner of the room, because the way that this is going to look like you're looking into the corner of one of the rooms in your house. So I'm going to find the center of my paper horizontally, and this is a 14-inch paper, so the middle is 7 inches. I'm going to do another mark at 7 inches, and now I'm going to draw the corner. Now I don't want to go all the way to the top. I also don't want to go all the way to the bottom. I want to have a little bit more room up here than down here, because I don't really need to. The higher I do this, the less of your ceiling you're going to see. We don't really need to draw the ceiling very much. But you want to do more room on the floor here so you can draw various objects in the room. So what I'm going to do is now line up my ruler on these 2 points. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go down a couple inches, let's say 3 inches below my horizon line here. And then I'm a couple inches from about 2 inches from the top. So there's the corner of my room. And now I'm going to draw the floor, and the floor needs to angle out from the vanishing points. I'm going to bring this up a little bit more, because if I do this way down here, my floor, I'm only going to have this much room on the floor. So I'm going to bring this up. Let's make this 1.5 inches from the horizon line. That gives me a lot of floor space here to draw some furniture. Okay, so I'm going to go from this vanishing point to the bottom of this line. I'm going to draw it out to the edge there, and then same on the other side. Go from this vanishing point to the corner and then extend that line out. Okay, so there's my floor, and then for the ceiling, I'll leave this line here. I'm going to go from this vanishing point to this line and go straight across here, and then from this vanishing point on this side to that line and draw it up. Okay, so there's your room. There's a corner of a room, here's the walls, here's the ceiling, here's the floor. So now we can leave the horizon line there, because I'm going to draw, I think I'll draw a window on one side, and then in that case you would actually see the horizon line, but for the most part the horizon line, you're not going to see it anymore, but we'll just leave it there for now. So the first thing I'm going to draw a bed here in the corner of the room. So I'm going to have it come out long ways like this. So first I'm going to draw the back, the head of the bed that's against this wall. So I'm lining up my ruler on this vanishing point and kind of determining how tall I want to make it. So I'm going to just do from this corner, I'm going to come out a little bit here to make like a twin size bed. And then I'm going to do the sides. Now the sides have to come out of this vanishing point. They're going to come across like this, and then the foot of the bed has to angle towards this vanishing point. So I'm going to do this side, the front side first, and I'm just going to kind of go to about here. Don't really know how far I want to make it yet. And I'm going to do the top of the other side of the bed that's against the wall, coming out of this vanishing point. That, and then the foot comes out of this vanishing point, foot of the bed. So I'm going to kind of overlap those two lines that I did, and I can just erase the one where I went a little too far. I'm going to erase this line here because the bed's there now. I'm going to do the thick. Now I need to draw, make this look like a more three-dimensional, so I need to draw the mattress. Before I do that, I want this to be even, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a measurement here. From this corner of the bed, let's say the thickness of this mattress is going to be 1/2 inch. So I'm going to measure 1/2 inch there. I'm going to measure 1/2 inch there. No, I'll just measure 1/2 inch here, and then 1/2 inch here. And I'm going to make the vertical portion of the mattress. Now when I'm doing vertical lines, I want to line up the edge of my, oh, can't see it. I'm going to line up the edge of my ruler here with the edge of my paper, and that'll ensure that I'm making a perfectly perpendicular line to the bottom of my page, because I don't want this to be, if I just put my ruler here and I'd say, oh, that looks, pretty straight, and I do a line and I take my ruler away and then it's crooked. Okay, so I'm lining this up here. What I like to do is put my pencil where I'm going to start, push my ruler up to my pencil, and then line up the ruler at the bottom, go down to that mark that I made. I'm going to do it on this side. So I put my pencil here, push my ruler up to my pencil, push my ruler down to the edge of the paper and rotate it till the bottom edge is lined up. Now I didn't measure, I was going to measure this same width as these, but that wouldn't be correct because this is closer to us than this, so it's going to be slightly larger. So actually, to determine this width here, the thickness of the mattress here, I need to now do my lines that come out of my vanishing point. So I'm lining this side up over here. I'm going to take this down here a little bit past the mattress point, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and then where they intersect, that will be the front corner. So I'm lining up on this vanishing point, the bottom of the mattress here. There's where they intersect. Now these should kind of match up. They don't really. Make sure, let me double check my lines here. Yeah, my lines are a little off. Okay, now I'm going to do the vertical line for this front corner of the mattress. I'm lining the edge of my paper up the edge of my paper, edge of my ruler up with the edge of my paper. Now I'm going to erase all these unneeded lines so my mattress doesn't look like it's see-through. Okay, so there it is. There's a, right now we have a floating mattress. What I'll do now is I'll draw a box spring. So I'll do like the bottom portion. I'll make this 1/2 inch as well. So I'm going to measure 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here. Draw my lines out of the vanishing points.
A few moments later.
Because now what I'm going to do, to add a little bit of detail, I'm going to add like a sheet over this. And so it's going to need to angle out from the vanishing point. So here's the sheet, and I'm just going to kind of freehand the part that hangs down. So here's the sheet, and I'm just gonna make it like it's say we forgot to tuck the sheet in here. So now all that hard work, all those extra lines you did, now you're gonna erase them. With the exception of this one can kind of stay here, but kind of round it off a little bit more. I'll draw some wrinkles, make it look like it's overlapping. Add a little bit of shadows in there. Make it look a little more three-dimensional. And then I'm going to do a pillow. Same thing. I'm still going to use my vanishing points because I want it to look askew. So I'm going to do the top of the pillow coming out of vanishing point, and it's sticking up it's thick, so it sticks up above the bed. So I'm going to do it up here like this, and then the bottom part again out of the vanishing point. And then the sides, I didn't do that one long enough, but that's okay. So here's my pillow. Erase all these unneeded lines in here. Add a little shadow to make it look a little more poofy. Okay, so there's a pillow. And now the only thing is, so the bed doesn't look like it's sitting on the floor, we can give it some legs, like a bed frame. So I'm just going to go a little bit outside the edge of the bed here. Line the edge of my ruler, put the edge of my paper. So there's the start of it. Now the foot, little minor details, you still have to, pay attention to the vanishing points. Like if I'm going to make, because I want the leg to look square. So this angle, this side of the leg goes towards that vanishing point, and this side of the leg will go towards the other vanishing point, and straight up and down for the other side, and then the middle. So now you'll see it looks a little more three-dimensional. Add a little shadow back here. And then what we'll do is just cap this off with a little round piece. And I'll do another one, the other side that comes up. So that I need to find the corner. I kind of erased where the corner of this bed was. Actually, it was in the corner of the room, so I can kind of see where my line was here. So that means this needs a, I can actually just continue this line up for the other side. Okay, so there's the headboard. And I'm going to actually continue this line all the way up so it gives it a little more depth. And you know what? I need legs here. So to determine how far to make this leg go down, I'm just going to go out of the vanishing point again and continue the line that I did on this part of the leg, and the one here should line up with that. So I'm going to do that there. And then here, this one's going to need to angle this way towards the other vanishing point. And since I have my ruler here, I'm going to do the other leg on the other side there. Now I do my vertical lines, again, lining the edge of my ruler up with the edge of my paper so that these lines go perfectly straight up and down, because if they don't, then everything's going to look crooked. There's that leg. Add little shadows here. And then this other leg. Alright, there's the other leg. And there is a bed. So it's about 20 years to draw that, or 20 minutes to draw just the bed. But, I mean, if you want to do it right, you really got to make sure you're going to the vanishing points, and if you aren't, everything's going to look crooked. But, you know, in order to do things correctly, it's just going to take a little bit of time. Okay, so, you know, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a window here. Now this, the way I draw the window will also apply for if you wanted to draw like a picture frame on the wall or a poster. So I'm going to do it on this wall here. So the top and the bottom of the window need to angle towards the opposite vanishing point. I'm going to do it kind of low so we can see the horizon line outside. And I just did a couple lines here. I didn't really know how wide I wanted to make it yet, so I think I'm just going to stick to the width I did here. Now I'm going to do the other side. Line the edge of my ruler up with the edge of my paper. Okay, so there's the basic frame of my window. And now I'm going to make this a little more three-dimensional, so what I'm going to do is draw the inside of the window. And we can only see this inside of the window. You're not going to see this side because it's just because of the way we're positioned. So to do that, first I'm going to draw the corners angling down towards this vanishing point. So I'm going to just do a little line here. I don't want to make it too thick. And then a little line here. And this, there's not much of a difference here. You know, this one angles down a lot because it's higher off the horizon line than this line. The closer you get to the horizon line, the more these lines are going to kind of level out. So what I'm going to do now is do the vertical line here. And then the tops and the bottom angling down towards the other vanishing point, just right to the edge of the window. Okay, so now it looks like there's just like a big hole in the wall. And I'm going to redo this horizon line a little darker here because we're going to just keep it. Okay, so in order to make this look a little bit more like a window, I'm going to do the line, so like the window pane. So what I need to do is I want to draw a line perfectly in the middle here and in the middle here. So I need to measure the distance from the outer edges of the window. To find the center, I'm going to go this way first. So I'm going to find the center this way first. So this is about 2 1/4 inches. So here's the center. So I'm going to do my line here. Line the edge of my ruler up with the edge of my paper. I'm going to give this a little, make it a little kind of a thick line. So I'm going to do another line right next to it. And now I can find the center of this. Oh, I needed to go all the way to the top. I'm going to freehand it. Don't try this at home. Okay. Now I'm going to find the center of this line This is exactly 2 3/4, so the middle would be 1 1/2. Now this line needs to go towards that vanishing point. I'm going to double it up like I did the other one, give it a little more detail. Oh, too close. Okay, so there's now there's kind of looks like this, not just a hole in the wall. You kind of have some window panes there. You can add some shadows in here. I did these window sills kind of thick, but that's all right. All right, now to kind of cap this off, I'm going to do some curtains here. So first I'm going to do a curtain rod, and it needs to come out of the vanishing point. So I'm going to do this here, then I'm going to do another one below it, coming out of the same vanishing point. Do little caps. And then I'll freehand some curtains on here. So just something kind of draping down like this. Go right to the edge of the window. Alright, there's my curtains. Now this is a cylinder shape, so this should also have a slight shadow to make it cylindrical. Okay, so there's a window. Like I said, if you want to do a picture frame or a poster, you draw it the same way. With the exception, if it's a poster, it's not going to be 3D. If it's a picture frame, you will have to do slight 3D elements in it. No matter how small it may end up being, make sure you're following all the proper perspective guidelines. So here, this is outside now, and you can make some grass texture out here, or you can draw a tree. Alright, so there's and there is why I kept the horizon line, but now we can get rid of the rest of the horizon line, just so it doesn't confuse us. All these unneeded lines in here. Just don't erase your vanishing points. You need those. Okay, the next thing I'm going to draw a desk on this side. So first I'm going to draw the back of the desk, which will angle the back and the front lines of the desk will angle out of this vanishing point. So I'm going to go a little bit above the mattress and put it way over here. I don't want to cover the bed I made, my 20-minute bed. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is the side line there, and then the other side. Now this is really close to the vanishing point, so this is really going to jet out towards you. And then the front of the desk from this vanishing point. Okay, so I did that line too long, but that's why we're drawing lightly, so we can erase. Okay, so there's the top of the desk. Now I need to add the 3D elements to this to make it, the thickness parts. So I'm going to do another line below this one, and another line coming out from this vanishing point. And then I'm freehanding my vertical lines because they're so small. Okay, so there's the surface of my desk. Now I'm going to draw another line down here to kind of represent maybe like a drawer in the desk. So I'm going to make this a little thicker than that first line. I'm going to do my vertical lines. Going to this vanishing point, another vertical line here. And then to make a drawer, I'm going to get super detailed here, which is going to require me to sharpen my pencil so I can get really close to my ruler. Because rather than, you know, the easy way out would just be to, if I'm going to do a drawer here, I'm just going to do a vertical line, and then use the existing lines there. But I'm going to make it a little more detailed. I'm going to, rather than use the lines that are there, I'm going to make the drawer to this desk have its own lines. So just a little bit above the bottom of the desk here, and a little bit below the top, and I can't see where my lines are now, but so I'm just gonna make it across and I can erase. That was way off. So here's my vertical lines, and then here's a little knob or handle for the drawer. And now for some legs. Okay, so for the legs, I'm going to go straight from this edge. I'm going to go straight down. I'm going to line the edge of my ruler up again so that I make sure that these legs go straight up and down. I'm going to draw the front of the leg. And I'm going to do this next because I can leave the ruler here to draw the front of the other leg. So I'm going to just going to make this pretty short, like an 1/8 of an inch. And then this one should be right around here somewhere. I'll just draw a line there. And now I'm going to draw another vertical line, which will represent the thickness of the leg. Do that to this one as well. And now, just like we did with the legs of the bed, I need to do the same thing, do the two sides. So this side's going to angle back towards this vanishing point, and this one's same thing, go to the same vanishing point, but way more angled because it's so close to that vanishing point. And then I'm going to do the vertical line here. So this takes a three-dimensional shape. So I'm lining this up here. Again, I feel like I've said this like 100 times already. Line the edge of my ruler with the edge of my paper to ensure that I'm getting a perfectly vertical line. I can do that, but I'm also, if the ruler doesn't look parallel to this line, then it's not right. So something didn't line up right. So those are a couple different ways you can make sure you're drawing perfectly vertical lines. So I need back legs. So to do that, it needs to come out of this corner. So I'm going to line my ruler up here with this corner and come down a little bit. And you'll know how far to go down based on this line. And then the other side's going to go towards the other vanishing point. I add some shadows here since this is in the background. A little overboard on the shadows. Make one side darker than the other. Alright, now we have a three-legged desk. And for the back leg, it's really going to almost run into this other leg because they're so close. I'm just going to leave it like that and say that they're overlapping so you can't even see the other side. Alright. So there's a desk, and then you can draw, various objects on the desk, and depending on what you're drawing, like I'm going to draw a cup here with some pencils in it. This has nothing to do with the vanishing points. because they're rounded. But if you're going to draw something like, let's say like a mat, like I have this mat on my desk here, and it's rectangular, and it's, you know, kind of perfectly lined up with my desk, and so that would indicate that it too lines up with the vanishing point. So I'm just going to draw a little mat on the desk here. The front of the mat should be parallel to the front of the desk, which comes out of this vanishing point. The back of it will angle towards the vanishing point as well, and then the sides will go towards the opposite vanishing point. There's my mat. All right. Now, so you could fill this side, you know, with a poster, picture, whatever you have, because you're picking a room in your house, and hopefully, you know, you don't have an empty room in your house with no furniture in it, and that's the room you picked. You pick a room that has various objects, back up if you have to, so you can see. You know, it doesn't have to be a bedroom. It could be a living room with a TV, or a, you know, a chair, or a couch. Let's just say I'll put a couch here. So to do a couch, the top of the couch, I'm going to start with the top. So it's going to come out of that vanishing point over there. There's the top. And it's just going to kind of go off my page here. Here is the vertical part to the back of the couch. Okay, and then now the arm is going to come out of this vanishing point. The arm of the couch here. And then I don't want to cut it into the bed, so I'm going to stop it short right at the bed. It's going to be a very shallow couch. But I'm just make it a little, make it go down a little bit more. And here's the front, the bottom front of the couch. Now to add some thickness to the arm of the chair, I'm making it very I'm making the couch very square, but I can, once I have the basic structure down using the vanishing points, and I can kind of smooth out the edges so it's not so rough. Now what I need to do is draw the cushions. So I'm basically doing like a cube here for the arm. And then the cushions will go about here, the front corner. So this, here's the cushion here. And kind of wrap around the arm there. On the back of the couch, back here where the remote always gets lost, right here. Now we got to make sure this. I started a freehand for a second there. I was getting a little carried away. I want to make sure that things are coming out of the vanishing point, or one of the two vanishing points. Alright, and then here's the other cushion. Don't forget to do some shadows. Now when you're doing your room, or whatever room it is you're drawing, you know, you're going to start off by doing all of this preliminary outlines of where everything is. It's going to take a really long time, and then once you have everything laid out, then you're going to go back in and add more detail. You're going to add shadows, as much detail as you can. so that the room, or so that your drawing looks like the room that you're drawing. I'll do one more thing I can do is we can do like a rug. The rug again would come out of the vanishing points. And there's the rug. And here's another example where, you know, draw the basic shape and then go in and add your detail. So here's the little edge of the rug. And if the rug, you know, has a design in it, especially if it's some sort of geometrical design, you're still gonna, even though it's, you know, it's a design in the rug, you're gonna have to follow the proper perspective rules. I'm like just freehanding this, but to give you the idea, there's some sort of a design in there. There, that's a nice rug. And that's it. So any other type of furniture you're going to draw, it's going to follow these same guidelines. If there's anything in particular that you're really having a hard time trying to figure out how to draw it, let me know and I will show you individually. But other than that, that's it.